And we are back. Power Rankings, Week 15 edition. Kicking us off at number 32, as you can see, we got the Carolina Panthers. They're going to be staying the same. They ended up losing yet again. This time 28-6 to the Saints, and boy, they looked bad. They look like they aren't even an NFL caliber team bad. There's nothing positive to say about that game. And number 31, also staying the same as the Patriots. They ended up winning. They're 3-10 now. They did beat the Steelers 21-18, but at the same time, they did end up getting eliminated from the playoffs after that game. I now see reports that, the Patriots are looking to move on from Bill Belichick after this season, which wouldn't surprise me. And even though the Patriots looked amazing that first half, they really stalled out in the second half, which causes me to, keep them here. At number 30, we have the Commanders. At number 29, we have the Cardinals. They're going to both be staying the same. They both had bye weeks. 28, we have the Chargers. They're going to be going down a whopping 9 spots. They ended up losing, I want to say it was like 24-7 to the Broncos. But in that game as well, they ended up losing Justin Herbert for the season, which pretty much marks any chance of a last-minute playoff push. He did, I think it was like broke his right thumb, which is his throwing arm, which isn't very good. So, Chargers, just look forward to next year, man, without Brandon Staley at the helm, and maybe you guys could win a playoff game this next year. 27, we got the Raiders. They're going to be going down 5 spots. They also ended up losing. They now sit at a whopping 5-8. Although I have no idea who they lost to off the top of my head. So we're just going to say they lost because I know they did. Oh, they lost 3-0 to the Vikings. Yeah. The lowest scoring game since 2007. I mean, that was a bad game. 0 points. 3 points were scored in the fourth quarter. That was it. 26, we have the Jets. They're going to be going up a spot. I don't know how to feel about this team. They get a much-needed win, which also keeps them alive in the playoff race. Granted, they still have a very outside chance. But they beat the Texans as well. So, that could be a monumental win that could start some momentum. However, it is unclear if Aaron Rodgers is going to come back. I know he's talked about it. I believe he's clear for this, or not this week, but next week. Who knows if he does, and who knows if the Jets will even be, in the playoffs by that point. 25, we have the Titans. They're going to be going up a spot. They won 28-27 against the Dolphins. Oh, by the way, the Jets won 30-6 against the Titans, against the Texans, and all 30 of those points came in the second half. The Titans pulled off a miraculous 28-27 come-from-behind victory over the Dolphins to keep their playoff hopes alive. And Will Levis looked on fire. Derrick Henry looked like old Derrick Henry. I could very well see this team, making a push for the playoffs. Not this year, but next year. 24, we got the Giants up 4 spots. They also get a come-from-behind win. 24-22 over the Packers. And as a Packers fan, they 100% deserve that win. Tommy DeVito looked amazing. And they, forced, 3 turnovers? They dominated that game. And for the Giants as well, that now puts them at 5-8. And you might be wondering, well, just like the Titans, they're barely in the playoffs. Nah, they're only a game behind. See, the NFC is far weaker than the AFC, which is very fun because now both conferences have there's only 2 teams eliminated so far, essentially. 23, we have the Bears. They're going to be going up 2 spots. They pull off the upset win over Detroit. Thank you, Bears. Feels very weird saying that, but genuinely, thank you. 28-13. This also puts the Bears only a game behind the NFC playoffs, and they have a very easy, I wouldn't say easy. They have the Browns who have their backup quarterback. They have the Packers. They have the Vikings, I believe, with their backup quarterback. I think only the Browns and maybe the Vikings, depending on, the record of the Vikings when they play, have a winning record. And both of them have their backup quarterback, so very doable. 22, we have the Saints going up a spot. They pull off a 28-6 win dominantly over the Panthers. And now they sit at a pretty 6-7, which gives them contention for both the wild card and their division because the NFC South sucks. There's currently a three-way tie for first place at 6-7. So, speaking of 21, we have the Falcons staying the same. They end up losing. They drop 29-25 to the Buccaneers, which gives the Buccaneers now leadership of the division. I mean, there was nothing to say. Desmond Ridder actually looked pretty solid. It was just not enough, unfortunately. Number 20, we have the Packers. They're going to be going down 2 spots. They end up losing 24-22 to the Giants. Matt LaFleur's first loss in December. This is not an ideal situation. I mean, you have and it's still fine because you still have the same situation where if you win out, you make the playoffs. But you were in a situation where you could have, jumped to like a 76% chance and have like a cushion, like, oh, it's fine if we lose a game because we're still like going to be it. Now you legit have to win out because there is so much pressure on you now that it's scary. And boy, this Buccaneers game is going to say a lot for not only the Packers but the Buccaneers. I would say a loser of this game more than likely won't make the playoffs besides the Buccaneers in the division. Buccaneers didn't have such a cakewalk of a division, they would probably be out, but yeah. 19, we got the Seahawks. They're going down 4 spots. They dropped 28-16 to the 49ers. I mean, the Seahawks did legit everything they could, but it wasn't even close enough to stop the 49ers. I mean, the 49ers are just a cheat code. They got, I would argue, a top, I'd say there's Andy Reid, Bill Belichick, Dan Campbell, Nick Sirianni, Kyle Shanahan. So probably around the 4 or 5 range for, best head coach. And they lost by 12, and they legit played a very good game. So that's shows how good the 49ers are. 18, we got the Steelers down 2 spots. They lose 21-18. This to the Patriots. That's back-to-back losing games to teams who had 2 wins and 10 losses going into that game. That's just unbelievable, Pittsburgh. I mean, I understand backup quarterback Mitch Trubisky, but you guys control your destiny. You went out, you make the playoffs, and the fact that you had 2 easy games that could have given you such padding, and not to mention you could have been in contention still for the 1 seed, and now you're fighting for your life in order to make the playoffs. 17, we got the Buccaneers. They're going to be going up 7 spots. That 29-25 win over the Falcons really, sparked something in me with this team, showing that they control their destiny. They went out there in the playoffs. And I would not be surprised if they did. And I feel like this game against the Packers is really going to be a momentum setter for them, whether, it helps them or not. Because they're going to need a lot. Because the Falcons play the Panthers, which, I'm sorry, Panthers fans, but you're the Panthers. The Falcons managed to lose that game, then, oh, jeez. And the Saints play the Giants. And Saints fans, that could be a tough game, but, I feel like you're way better of a team. And Buccaneers, I feel like they're like very evenly matched with the Packers. So I feel like Buccaneers have the hardest of the stretch, but they also have the best team. 16, we have the Rams. They're 6-7, up 4 spot. They lost. It sucks they lost, but they did everything they could. I mean, 37-31 in OT to the Ravens, who currently sit tied in the NFL for the best record, single-handedly in the AFC, by the way. In the NFC, there's, a bunch of 10-3 teams, so. The fact you sent it to overtime against that team, you played so well, it really hurts because now you're in an unfortunate situation where you had a chance, a really good chance with how that game went to kind of overtake the Packers, and then you'd have the win out and you make the playoffs destiny, but now you need some help. 15, we got the Vikings. They're going up 2 spots. 3-0. Next. Oh, Nick Mullins is their new starting quarterback. They're 4th this season, so yay. 14, we have the Colts. They're going to go down 2 spots. They ended up dropping to the Bengals, 34-14. Jake Browning is looking like, he should be a starting quarterback in this league. But Colts, don't worry, you're still in that. I want to say a 7th seed, maybe even the 6th. Yeah, you're the 7th seed. I don't know how these playoffs works because there are a bunch of head-to-head stuff that are irrelevant because of other teams. So yeah, but I do feel like the Colts have a very good chance. Obviously, with Gardner Minshew at the helm, you are looking at a bit more trouble. But I mean, this team, whether they make the playoffs or not, have done so well to even be in the talk. 13, we got the Browns. They are 8-5. They're going to be going up a spot. They ended up defeating the Jaguars 31-27. And with that win, they now have sole possession of the 5 seed. And they are still alive for the 1 seed. Granted, they have a pretty tough hill to climb, but they still have a chance. Is all that matters. And Joe Flacco looked amazing. Number 12, we got the Bengals. They're going up a spot. We just talked about them with the Colts win. But this team really looks scary. I mean, with Jake Browning, they were able to defeat the Colts in the... I mean, that has layers. With Jake Browning, oh, geez, my phone is freaking out. I don't remember who they beat last week, but that was a pretty good win for them. The Jaguars. I mean, this team has a chance. 11, we have the Texans. They're going to be going down 2 spots. They end up dropping 30-6 to the Jets. All 36 points, including the 6 by the Texans and the 30 by the Jets, came in the second half. And Texans, you still want, this phone actually is starting to get on my nerves. You're not allowed to play playoffs, but you still got a very good chance. All you got to do is win out, I believe. And I hope C.J. Stroud is okay. I believe he did suffer, or at least went into concussion protocol. Number 9, 10, we got the Bills. They're going to be going up a spot. They're 7-6. They ended up beating the Chiefs 20-17. They did get a very, not lucky, but very fortunate call that Kadarius Toney is just proving to be one of the biggest first-round busts we've ever seen. As he lined offside on the go-ahead touchdown. So yeah, Bills, you aren't in the playoffs quite yet, but you definitely still have a great chance. I mean, there are so many 7-6 teams, it's unreal. And number 9, speaking of, another 7-6 team, we got the Broncos up a spot. They ended up winning 24-7 against the Chargers, also injuring Justin Herbert. So pretty much putting any chance that the Chargers had in the playoffs gone. In another situation where this team surprisingly isn't in the playoffs. It does not make sense. Number 8, we have the Lions. They're going to be going down a spot. They ended up losing 28-13 to the Bears in a very shocking game. This now pretty much hurts the Lions and making the 1 seed. They pretty much got that division on lock, I'd imagine. But the 1 seed now is, even though they're only 2 games out, well, a game and a half technically, it really does hurt for them. Number 7, we got the Jaguars. They're going to be going up a spot. Even though you lost, you moved up because you gave a good fight with Trevor Lawrence injured. That really says a lot. And I do see this team making the playoffs. Granted, they do have to be very careful because the Texans and Colts are right behind them in the division. And then they got like the 7 teams who are also 7-6 competing. Number 6, we got the Chiefs. They're going to be staying the same. They also got to watch out. They lose to the Bills. This now gives the Broncos a chance, only a game behind. And the Chiefs got to be careful because they're not even guaranteed a playoff spot. And that's mind-blowing to say that. Patrick Mahomes, completely healthy, by the way, and Travis Kelce, completely healthy, with Andy Reid as their head coach, might not even make the playoffs. Yeah, that's the world we're living in right now. Number 5, we got the Dolphins going down a spot. That loss really does hurt. I ultimately don't think it's going to change a lot. Besides maybe the 1 seed, I still see them ending up with the 2, maybe 3 seed because the Chiefs do have the tiebreaker over them. But yeah, I think you guys are going to be fine. Number 4, we got the Eagles. They're going to be going down 2 spots. That's back-to-back losses. Granted, the back-to-back losses are coming to a combined total of 20-6 teams. But at the same time, the combined losses are 42-19 and 33-13. So, are the Eagles frauds? We might be looking at a fraud team right now. Number 3, we got the Ravens up 2 spots. Like we talked about, they got that amazing kick return touchdown to win the game in overtime. And I do see this Ravens team potentially, making a run into playoffs. Obviously, I'm not 100% confident because Lamar Jackson is their quarterback, and he has been known to be a playoff choker, but I like this team a lot. Number 2, the Cowboys up a spot. They dominated 33-13 against the Eagles. They now lead the NFC East, and I would not be surprised if they gave the 49ers a run for their money for the 1 seed. And number 1, speaking of, is the 49ers staying the same. There's nothing to say about this team besides they are so overpowered. But that's going to do it. I hope you guys enjoyed. I did. I'll see you guys next time with, the Shorts Power Rankings, but the predictions. Goodbye. Hope you enjoyed. And if I remember, I know I talked about it a while ago, on Monday, this Monday, there should be the Mario Kart tier list finale with the final 2 waves. So look forward to that too. But with everything said, goodbye and hope you enjoyed.